Greetings, our dear viewer of Uganda Catholic Television. I am Kwebia Joshua Stephen this time round, and I am honored to have guests from Caritas Uganda and their partners, and they are here to share with us some good news. And without wasting time, I would like to have one of the main guests to introduce herself and also tell us what Caritas Uganda is and why they are here.
Hello viewers, my name is Dorothy Mitala. I work with Caritas Uganda. Caritas Uganda is the social development arm of the Uganda Episcopal Conference. Our area of operation is throughout Uganda, that is the 19 dioceses, and in each diocese there is a Caritas desk or office with whom we link. And we don't work alone, but we work with other partners because we cannot reach everywhere, but we reach the partners, and we work through groups formation so as to reach the poorest of the poor in their regional areas up to village levels. Much of our activities are engaged in agriculture and social services. We care for the needy, and we give out skills so that people develop themselves and then unleash their potentials. Thank you very much. That is in brief.
Okay, thank you, Dorothy. And we are not alone. We have another big team with us here from Franciscan Capuchin Friars Uganda, and they are partnering with Caritas Uganda. I'm going to ask them to introduce themselves. But first, I will begin with the guest on my left and then the gentleman there.
Hello viewers, my name is Proskovia Vikman. I'm coming from the lay Franciscan, from the Capuchin Friars, but we are here for the project or the program. Most of you that you know is called Laudato Si, which is promoted by Pope Francis, and this is his letter to the world, trying to restore the planet, and his call for all of us to take care of our Mother Earth. Why are we here with Caritas? I think you've heard my colleague from Caritas saying we collaborate. Caritas is a church organization, founded organization. The Franciscan Green Team is also a church founded, and we follow the spirituality of St. Francis of Assisi. And I think you know that St. Francis of Assisi is the patron saint of ecology. So when we do the restoration, we are actually living our spirituality as Franciscans. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad that through the invitation of Caritas Uganda, we are able to celebrate the Women's Day come 8th of March. And I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Proskovia. And let us also have a gentleman to introduce himself and also know why he's here.
Hello viewers, nice to be here. And once again, I want to thank you for hosting us, and our Caritas Uganda, our partners, whom have been working together to ensure that our Mother Earth is protected. As Proskovia has just said, that we come from St. Francis of Assisi lineage, and is a patron saint of ecology. His passion was mainly to do with nature, and he believed that faith is all-encompassing. It includes humans, it includes all animals, it includes every nature, so that work all together to be as a complete unit, which is the creation of God, the aim God created the entire universe and put man in the middle to oversee it. So in this regard, we are happy to work with Caritas Uganda, especially in promoting nature conservation and environmental protection, which are critical for ensuring the future of this world, not only Uganda, but the whole world. So as we are here preparing for the Women's Day, The women are in the center of nature, and we want to work with them to ensure that we conserve nature. And this is one of the areas Pope Francis has emphasized and has taken leadership of globally to ensure that we mitigate climate change effects and ensure the future of this world.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Henry. And we are glad that we have this wonderful team with us here. We are going to go into the main reason. Why did you choose specifically to donate to Caritas the trees for them to supply, especially towards the celebration of Women's Day? Why Caritas? Why not any other organization?
Thank you very much. It's not only that we are giving to Caritas, but as mentioned earlier with my colleagues, that the ecological patron, who is St. Francis, is looking at restoration. And for your information, he saw this centuries ago, before we hit this crisis that we're facing now. So it means that for him, in his life, he was prophetic. So when we're dealing with Caritas, which is also a global movement, we're also dealing with other people. Ours, we already have a nursery bed that takes up to 100,000 seedlings per season. So it means that we are able to give to those who are actually going to grow the trees. We don't want just to give out the trees and you don't know where they are going to go. We know that Caritas, when they come for the trees, they will be able to plant and we are going to follow them. We also work with other partners so that the mapping of these trees where they have been planted is mapped, and we know that the restoration is actually happening. It's not just a function. It's not just an event. So we believe that with the work that Caritas is doing across Uganda and across the world, we can sustainably agree that these trees given out, they are going to be distributed, they are going to be planted and will be followed. So that's the main reason why we are working with them in collaboration. And this is the best way possible because we need collaboration across the board. The youth, the women, even the young men like you, and also the Catholic Women League, or we can say the Catholic men, should also be coming in. But not only Catholics, anybody who can plant a tree and grow it, you can come to us. We can talk and make sure that we have the restoration done.
Okay, that's good. So far, this has been done towards Women's Day celebration. Has it been done before, or it has just focused on the celebration of Women's Day, given that we tend to take women as weak, which I do not believe, I personally, giving an instance whereby if a woman can take 9 months with pregnancy, then you cannot look at them as weak. So has it specifically targeted women, or this program will continue to extend to other sectors?
This program, it is an ongoing program. Every year we celebrate Women's Day. And Caritas Uganda, being one of the key stakeholders of the organizers of the Women's Day, together with the Ministry of Gender, we plan these activities. Each different organization that sits on that NOC, on the National Organizing Committee for the Women's Day, they declare what activities they can do to commemorate the Women's Day. And so, Caritas Uganda, we came up with a number of activities. We participated in the National Women Magazine, where we have articles to the nation, and that will be shared in all line ministries. And at the same time, all Ugandans will read that magazine to show achievements for how women have been working through this economic empowerment, and the theme being accelerating action for gender equality. We are engaging our women to see how active they are in bridging up this gender equality. So this activity of tree planting is an ongoing. Last year we were in Katakwi, where we had the celebrations, and we planted trees. Also, we lobby from different organizations. As I told you, that we don't work alone. We work with other agencies, partners like the Franciscans. So we planted trees. We intend to do this planting whenever, every year when we celebrate the Women's Day.
And maybe if I can interject also, just in addition, the purpose of having a tree planting is symbolic, but it has a hidden meaning behind it. Climate crisis is affecting women more. When there's no water, it's the women that are going to suffer looking for the water. If there's no firewood, it's the women. So the symbolic way of planting these trees is to make sure that the restoration is done by the women themselves, that we take control of this, but also send a message that we're not helpless, we can act, and we're active actors.
Okay, so that's good. To add on maybe on this initiative that has been brought up by Caritas and also partnering with Franciscan Capuchin friars. Gentlemen there, do you have something to add on what our colleagues have already mentioned?
You know, the church, the Catholic Church specifically, has had women movement stronger from the beginning. St. Francis, the power patron of ecology, when he started this movement of Franciscan, the first step he started with men. But immediately after that, he brought in women on board, the sisters, and then they brought in the lay persons at the third order. So what happened that the church recognizes women as a critical movement in ensuring peaceful, the future of this world. So it is not that we are targeting this Women's Day alone, but this is one of the day when most of the women, national and globally, can be easily reached because of the way it is publicized. And we take this opportunity to use it to publicize the need for nature conservation and mitigating the climate change effects. So in that case, we have already been doing it. We are working already with Tree Adoption Uganda and other organizations to ensure that we plant more trees through different organizations in the church and different ministries in the church. And the Women Guild is one of the core areas that we always look at in mitigating the climate change effects, because as Proskovia said, they are much affected and also they affect more the environment. So the more we bring them together in this cause, the better for the world. So this is for this year. Immediate after this, we shall continue to engage them as we have been continuing engaging them, because it's the most effective way of fighting this climate change effect.
Okay, right. I think Dorothy has something to add on.
Yes, another very important point that I wouldn't like to leave behind is that the trees that are being planted, some are medicinal, some are income generating, like Kabakanjagara, which we
candle nut,
which we never knew the value of candle nut. You plant it, but you get an income. Also, you get some firewood at the beginning. At any stage of that tree, there is an income in the pockets. So, and women, they understand much better, and they do extraordinary care to care for the planting of these trees. And so at any point they will get an income, and then they will use that income to bring more food on table for the homestead, and then also nutrition.
Okay, that's nice. As we gear up towards the celebration of Women's Day, I would like to have a message from each one of you to go to the public out there. We are seeing, like, for now, for us who are in Uganda right now, everyone is crying of the sunshine, the drought. It's like some people are saying as if it has been chased away from heaven or wherever it is always. Which message do you have for people, especially to put it in the celebration of women as the mothers of the world, mother of the earth? Which message do you have for them towards the conservation of the environment and especially preventing these climatic changes we have right now?
Is that question general?
In general.
Okay. I could go first. The actual message for everybody else who has been doubting, climate change is real and is happening. So if you thought your cutting of indigenous forests is not going to affect you, I want you to wake up today in Kampala early morning and you see it's not fog, but that is pollution, air pollution. Even afternoon, you still see air pollution. Apart from that, the heat that we're facing now, wait until you cut every layer of the natural forests. And we tell people that act now, action that you do now can save you the following day. And the biggest problem we have been having, that's why we're saying the call to action on the Women's Day, let everybody plant at least 5 trees. If you have 5 kids, let every child plant that tree. If you're baptizing a child, make sure the baptism is commemorated by planting a tree. If you have lost somebody, plant that tree. Those trees, in the end, you'll see them having a canopy, a better canopy. But right now, I want you to wake up. If you're living in Kampala, you'll see the difference. If you're living up north, it's even worse. So act now. Every step counts. Kindly make sure, understand that climate change is real and is happening. It's not the future. It's actually here now.
Okay, all right. That's a very wonderful message. Over to you, Dorothy.
Well, the message I would like to leave is that over everywhere in Uganda, make sure that you put a stop on cutting trees for charcoal, for fuel. We need to embrace the tree growing because of its many advantages. As I told you, medicinal, income generation, and also shade. So I would advise that every household have 1 or 2 trees being planted, and then carry on the message to the next household, so that each one also plants a tree. Then we shall have a very peaceful Uganda with very good weather.
All right, that's nice from you. Henry? Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And this is also what I want to add on. Women are a very important thing in climate change. Very critical people. That is why it is not by mistake that we call it Mother Earth. The moment they didn't call it Father Earth. They called it Mother Earth, purposely to reflect the importance of a mother and therefore the importance of a woman. And therefore it is in your hands as women to protect this earth. In Uganda specifically, we have seen the disasters in eastern Uganda, in Bududa, in Kasese, and other areas where flooding has been a problem. People have died. Up to now, people are still in the camps. That is a problem already with climate change effect. Now the heat we are having is not only affecting us humans, it is affecting animals, it is affecting crops. The part of the country is becoming, dissertation is becoming so fast. So as women, you are affected more in this area of climate change effects. So When there is no food on the table, as Proscovia said, you suffer more. The children suffer more. Children look at you and everybody, even the man, when he comes back at home, he looks at you. So women, you are in the center. You are critical. We are appealing to you. Take this message. Plant a tree as much as you can. Let your child have a tree in her names or his names. Let you have a tree. Let the neighbor have a tree. Take this message across. We can fight it together. Jointly we can fight climate change, negative effects, and get back to normalcy. It is important that you get into the center. That is where all the promotions on climate change are focusing on women, because you are critical in saving life and the future of this world.
That is very wonderful. Of course, if you want to empower the nation, empower the woman. Ms. Dorothy has something to add on our topic, maybe also on Caritas Uganda, and then we conclude our segment this day.
Well, I would like to inform the public that Women's Day is going to be celebrated in Chankwanzi district, that is Kinda-Michana diocese. As Caritas Uganda, we are going in full swing. We shall have this tree planting, 2,000 tree planting, and we are happy that in Vumba Parish we shall have, we've been given 3 acres of land where we are going to plant these trees, and then we shall, in our campus in Caritas, we shall be there, we plant trees, we share experiences. Women are going to be sharing their experiences. There will be exhibitions, to see what we have gone through the last years and what we have achieved, and then we shall have actions for the next, up to the next year, how we are going to move, how we are going to work out, move with these celebrations, actions. And then on Saturday, we shall be at Chankwanzi district to have the National Women's Day as women of Caritas Uganda, and then the community at large.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Do you have anything else to add on?
One thing just is to emphasize that the dioceses we have, as Capuchins, we are interconnected, both at national level, and you know that the church is a global church. We are working together, especially as Capuchin Franciscans across the globe, to ensure that each chapter in each country takes a lot of effort in spreading this message of saving the Mother Earth. And as women, help us to put this message across. Let the Women's Day be something to bring it up more to the whole world. And also another issue, another possible information we need to give, that we at Capuchin Friars or Capuchin Franciscans, we are based just before Namuranda on Entebbe Road at the Kabura Muliro Parish, just behind it, and that is where we are based. We have, as of now, 30,000 indigenous and fruit trees, and but we had more than 100,000 supported by the church, individuals, and Tree Adoption Uganda, and the Climate Action Network, also Uganda, supported us in the training and all that. Now we are working with Caritas. Our aim is to spread the message and support and work together with everybody to mitigate the climate change effects. Kindly come to us. We can give you more trees. We can work together to expand the nursery. It can be expanded to 500,000 trees, and we are trying now to get into with other partners to ensure that this message is taken across Uganda, is restored to each natural environment.
And that's why it's called.
Yes.
Okay.
as Uganda, just as a joiner, Uganda was known as Pearl of Africa. And being a pearl, it meant it's the natural beauty. And the beauty was about nature.
Okay.
So let's preserve our Pearl of Africa.
Okay. You've talked about tree planting, having nurseries. If someone out there is interested in planting trees in the way of conserving the environment, can they have access to free trees for donation, or they need to put in some money to get some trees? Just in a few seconds.
We have the Schools Go Green campaign, but we also have Adopted Tree. Adopted Tree, it means that you pay some money so that we can sustain the nursery. But the Schools Go Green, we have well-wishers who pay for the trees, and we give out those trees to the schools free of charge. However, we're also trying to say that if you give people just free seedlings, most people don't take it seriously. So there's a little fee that you give to maintain the nursery. But when you come, we can discuss depending on how many seedlings you want. But we don't give you trees when you're not prepared. We need to make sure that you have a prepared land and pitted, which means that the trees are going to be planted and grown. Thank you so much.
Okay, that was a wonderful message. As we just conclude, because of time, in just 5 to 10 seconds, each one of you, I'd like you to send out a Women's Day celebration message and also say greetings to your people out there who could be watching us.
Okay, with no order at all?
It's fine.
I want to say for the Women's Day celebration, I'm a Catholic woman, I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a singer. I'm saying if you're Catholic, Laudato Si is the way to go. Make sure you support for Francis campaign, but also support yourself. Enjoy the Women's Day as you plant the tree, but also nature and nurture our children. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
As the theme goes, or as the theme is for this year's celebrations, I'm arguing all women everywhere in Uganda to make sure that there is accelerating gender for equality, so that we speed up our mechanism, and then we speed up the development of the nation together. We need to work together, and we need to embrace our motherland. Thank you so much.
Yeah, when you say a successful woman, already there is a man behind that. And wherever you see successful man, there is always a strong woman behind that. When you see a woman, you have seen a child. So, women, when we are talking to you to spread the message, it is not that only to women, because we know that in these celebrations, men will be there and will be participating. Each day and each morning, remind the man closer to you, a husband, a son, a brother, a relative, to plant a tree to mitigate the effects of climate change, to stop the flooding, to stop the heat, and to stop the droughts and the famine and all that, because all this is due to climate change. Kindly move the message and take it as far as you can. Looking forward to seeing you in Kyankwanzi and to say more about mitigating the climate effects by planting a tree and replacing a tree where the tree has been cut or has dried. Take it as a critical, because it brings food to your table. When there is a problem with climate change, there may not be food at your table, and the children may suffer. Let's look beyond ourselves, beyond our children, to grandchildren. Their future is critical and important to us. I wish you the best Women's Day on Saturday, 8th March 2025.
Okay, all right, thank you. And that is the team I've been having here on UCTV.
Thank you for
I
coming
had
on.
Henry Nawe, who is the project coordinator, and from Secular Franciscan Capuchin, and then also Dorothy Mitala, who is the from the Gender and Welfare Office, Caritas, and then the chairperson, Proscovia Vickman, for Franciscan Capuchin. I have been Kwebia Joshua Stephen to bring you this segment this day. And for the women, the message I can leave you out, and also the men, they say, what a man can do, a woman can do better. But
Twice.
they say, what a man can do, a woman can do better and better when empowered. Just empower the woman, and then you will see everything smooth. I sign out, and till next time. This has been UCTV.